Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. I hope you had a wonderful lunch, and I hope you're finding today's programming to be as fulfilling and rewarding and productive as I have found it to be. I want to begin by thanking all of the honorable heads of state who are here. Thank you for traveling to be with us. To ministers who are here, thank you. To government officials and my colleagues in government, special thank you to my partner and colleague, Secretary of State Tony Blinken, who did a wonderful job at lunch. Thank you. I couldn't see you, but there you are. Thank you to all, and thank you to the industry leaders. We have some of America's leading CEOs, from the biggest companies to the smallest companies, who took time out of their busy schedule at a very busy time of year to be here, and I'd like to thank you for that. And also to the African CEOs who are here. I think all of us, myself included, feel a sense of excitement about what can be.
What is up, everyone? Please take a second to hit that like button. The more likes that we get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat to come hang out with us and see what's going on. So please hit that like button. Let me know how you're doing. And happy freedom. If the titles are messed up, it's because the White House sucks. And I've been sitting here waiting on them for 45 minutes now, which is why Coffee with Hooligans is late. So we're technically doing a Coffee with Hooligans right now. We're just going to hear these fools mumble on, and we'll move forward with our day.
And I will say they are a testament to President Biden's vision for the 21st century partnership between the United States and Africa. The president is deeply committed to the continent. He was deeply committed to gathering here relatively early in the administration as an expression of our commitment. And what we want to do is move from just aid, yes, we need aid, but move beyond just aid to investment. Beyond just aid to investment and partnership, to unlock the potential of the private sector to the benefit of both of our countries. I'll say since the first moment the president took office, he's been committed to rebuilding our partnerships, not just with Africa, but globally. And as we launch the strategy towards sub-Saharan Africa and his partnership for global infrastructure and investment in the past year, the president has demonstrated time and time again that the United States is indeed back under his leadership and is more committed than ever with Africa as a partner. In the months ahead, under the president's direction, we will build on this forum to help drive the long-term prosperity and well-being of all of our citizens. You may ask, how do I know that? Because the president will make sure that we do that. And I think Tony and all of us who work for him know what I mean. He's a man who wants results. He's an unbelievable leader. He's a visionary, and I am so unbelievably proud to serve under him and with him. So with that, it is my great honor to
Is Trump there?
Keynote speaker. Please welcome the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see you all. Please have a seat. And I know you're saying to yourselves, make it short, Biden. There's a semifinal game coming up. I get it. I see Secretary Kerry over there nodding. Hey, John, how are you, pal? Well, I want to thank Secretary Raimondo. She is one of the brightest and best folks I have working with me, and for all of you in this room for making this forum a success, particularly in Prosper Africa, Deal Room. That sounds like something that we shouldn't be saying. Prosper Africa, Deal Room.
You can clap.
I kept asking, where's the Deal Room? I think I'm looking at it. Folks, I want to thank you all for being here, particularly since I said Morocco is about to play as the first African nation in the semifinals of the World Cup. distinguished heads of state, leaders of regional and global institutions, and of course, representatives of more than 300 companies, African and American. Welcome to Washington. And I want to recognize our co-hosts, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the Corporate Council of Africa, two great champions for building and growing ties of business and trade and investment between Africa and the United States, as well as the members of my administration and the members of Congress who are here today. All the members of Congress, please stand up if you're here so I can identify who you are. There's a man. All right, I'm sure you're out there somewhere. Look, this forum is about building connections. It's about closing deals, and above all, it's about the future, our shared future. We've known for a long time that Africa's success and prosperity is essential to assuring a better future for all of us, not just for Africa. I've been engaged in these issues going back to my days as a young man in the United States Senate. When I was on the Foreign Relations Committee, I was chairman of the African Affairs Subcommittee and got to spend a lot of time in Africa. I visited almost all of your countries. When I was vice president serving with President Obama, we hosted the first U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit.
Why is he smacking his lips like that? Like he's being snide.
That we could harness if we did it together. And holding the first of its kind summit in 2014 was a watershed moment to cement new kinds of partnerships between our nations. Partnerships not to create political obligation, not or foster dependence, but to spur shared success. And I emphasize shared success and opportunity. Because when Africa succeeds, the United States succeeds. Quite frankly, the whole world succeeds as well. Now, 8 years later, the world has undergone a great many changes. We're still grappling.
Cheesky, why is he yelling? Yeah, he's just, I don't think he understands how a microphone works.
Challenges with global impact, fighting rising food prices, tackling the impacts of climate change. And each of these crises has only heightened the vital role African nations and peoples play.
Sounds like he's yelling German terms. What's up, God Rides a Harley? Welcome to the live.
African leadership at the table, and I'm not trying to be nice, that's a fact. African ideas and innovation helping to shape the solutions, and African population contributing to every step. So the only question when I took office was not if we'd host another U.S.-African Leadership Summit, but when. My administration's engagement with Africa and the priority we place on these relationships began on day one. We've been working steadily with regional diplomacy and investments to demonstrate our commitment. We harnessed decades of cooperation through PEPFAR and President's Malaria Initiative and other partnerships in global health security to help save lives and combat COVID-19. The United States delivered 231 million doses of vaccines to 49 countries across Africa, and worked together with you to get the vaccines into the arms in hard-to-reach communities. Critically, we invested in Africa's capacity to manufacture its own vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics so Africa can meet its own needs and contribute to the global supply chain. And even as we work to end COVID-19, we continue building stronger health systems and institutions and accelerating efforts to achieve universal health coverage, to make sure we're better prepared to tackle the health challenges, including the next pandemic, and there surely will be one. We also advanced our commitment.
Jeez, you're so certain, so certain.
Feed the Future program to partner with 8 additional African countries. And I'll be speaking more tomorrow about this effort to both address the immediate food crisis and strengthen the food system in Africa for the long term. We're taking on climate crisis, prioritizing not just energy transition in America, but in nations of all of Africa, and meeting the urgent needs of countries to adapt to the climate impacts.
What's up, Anthony? Happy Freedom Heaven Mag?
I traveled to COP27 in Egypt, where I announced $150 million in an effort to support adaptation efforts in Africa, a down payment of my commitment to provide $3 billion annually to global adaptation efforts for 2024. And in a year that has seen elections...
He's trying so hard to read that teleprompter. What's up, A-girl? What's up, cool guy?
Values that unite our people, all our people, especially young people. Freedom, opportunity, transparency, good governance. Now, you might be thinking, this is a forum dedicated to deepening business ties and advancing two-way trade investments between Africa and the United States. Why is Biden talking so much about all these other areas?
Why is Biden talking so much in general?
Economic transition depends on good government, healthy populations, and reliable and affordable energy.
What's up, Nagasaki? Welcome to Live.
When they're looking to invest, they attract new opportunities, and they launch new partnerships. And the United States is committed to supporting every aspect of Africa's inclusive growth and creating the best possible environment for sustained commercial engagement between Africa companies and American companies.
What's up, Sam? What's up, Preston?
On Africa's future. And the work we've done over the past 2 years, building on decades of vital investments made under previous American presidents, has helped make possible the critical steps that I'm about to announce. First, the United States is signing a historic memorandum of understanding with the new African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat. This MOU will unlock new opportunities for trade and investment between our countries and bring Africa and the United States even closer than ever. This is an enormous opportunity for Africa's future, and the United States wants to help make those opportunities real. We're finally implementing the African Continental Free Trade Area. It will represent one of the largest free trade areas in the world, 1.3 billion people, and a continent-wide market totaling $3.4 trillion. And with the new MOU, we're doing things correctly, enshrining protection for workers, both across Africa and in the United States, looking out for small and medium-sized entrepreneurs and enterprises to make sure they have a fair shot.
It's always like he's speaking in cursive. He just strings all of his words together.
Diaspora-owned businesses and businesses owned by members of historically underserved communities.
What's up, Viking Bet?
Supporting and investing in continent's vibrant and growing urban economies.
What's up, James?
We want to build a future of opportunity where no one is left behind. Second,
What happened in Afghanistan?
to facilitate greater regional trade within Africa, including by investing in infrastructure. Today, the Millennium Challenge Corporation signed its first ever regional transport compact with the governments of Benin and Niger. This compact will invest $500 million to build and maintain roads, put in place policies that reduce.
Every day we listen to these people go live and talk about the hundreds of millions of billions of trillions of dollars we're giving to everyone all the time. Like it's their money to give away.
To neighboring landlocked countries. Since the start of my administration, the MCC has announced new investments of nearly $1.2 billion in Africa. We expect the MCC to commit
Sarge,
$5 billion
tuning in, waiting to find out the gender of our first child 1 hour away. That's awesome. Congrats. That's so cool. What's up, Grey Wolf?
In fact, the MCC just announced discussions for partnerships with 4 African countries. Our first COP4 compacts, Gambia, Togo, to boost economic development, and a compact with Senegal to bolster regional connections, a threshold program in Mauritania to help strengthen democratic governance and pursue policy reform to unlock economic growth. These MCC investments are part of the work we're doing worldwide through the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment.
What's up, Shadow Patriot?
Initiative together with the rest of the G7 to help fill the need for quality, high-standard infrastructure in Africa and in low-income and middle-income countries around the world. And at the G7 meeting earlier this year, we announced our intention to collectively mobilize $600 billion, in the next 5 years. Today's announcement joined a portfolio of Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment projects already underway in Africa, including mobilizing $8 billion in public and private finance to help South Africa replace coal-fired power plants with renewable energy sources and develop cutting-edge energy solutions like clean.
What's up, Paul?
A deal worth $2 billion to build solar energy projects in Angola. $600 million in high-speed communications cable that will connect Southeast Asia to Europe via Egypt and the Horn of Africa and help bring high-speed internet connectivity to countries all along the way.
He's struggling so hard to read the teleprompter he can't put the one hand in his pocket like he normally does. Obviously, this isn't business as usual. Struggling up there.
And improving Africa's infrastructure is essential to our vision of building a stronger.
What's up, hydrodynamic?
That can better withstand the
Absolutely.
that we've seen in the past few years. Third, we're continuing to support innovation and entrepreneurship across Africa, investing in Africa's people, developing human capital alongside physical infrastructure is another core aspect of the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment. Today, I'm announcing that the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation is investing nearly $370 million in new projects, $100 million to increase the reliable, clean energy for millions of people in sub-Saharan Africa, $20 million to provide financing for fertilizer to help smallholder farmers, particularly women farmers, increase the yields of their crops, $10 million to support small and medium-sized enterprises that help bring clean drinking water to communities all across the continent, just to name a few examples.
What's up, Tanis? Thanks for being here. What's up, Matthew?
We also know that one of the most essential resources of any entrepreneur or small business owner who wants to participate in the global economy is reliable and affordable access to the internet. So today, I'm announcing a new initiative, the Digital Transformation with Africa, working with Congress to invest $350 billion to facilitate more than almost $500 million in financing to make sure people across Africa can participate in a digital economy.
Shadow Patriot. Listen to this potato telling how the U.S. is going to fix everyone else's problems. It's sad. Absolutely. Can't fix our own problems, but we're going to fix everybody else's problems. Stupid.
Part of Microsoft's commitment to bring access to 100 million people across Africa by the end of the year 2025. That means programs to train African entrepreneurs with a focus on women entrepreneurs to code and build skills that need to start their own businesses, to secure good-paying jobs with technology firms. And this will include partnerships between African-American companies to provide cybersecurity services to make sure Africa's digital environment is reliable and secure. That brings me to my final announcement. I said at the top of this forum about closing deals, and we've delivered. So let's give you a few highlights from the deal room to the benefits they will deliver to Africa. Cisco Systems and Cyber Bastion, a diaspora-owned small business.
What's up, Wendy?
Jointly announcing $800 million in new contracts to protect African countries from cyber threats.
What's up, LaDonna?
More than $1 billion into Africa over the next 5 years to further expand the operations on the continent, including providing mobile payment services for more micro, small, and medium-sized businesses across Africa. General Electric and Standard Bank will provide $80 million to improve healthcare services and provide access to cutting-edge healthcare equipment. Altogether, the forum has spurred more than $15 billion in new deals, which will lift up and improve the lives of people all across the continent. And that's the biggest deal of all. These are long-term investments. They're going to deliver real benefits to people, create new, good-paying jobs, including here in the United States, and expand opportunities for all our countries for the years to come. All of you, the deals you've signed, the investments we've made together are concrete proof of the enduring commitment we're making to one another, government to government, business to business, people to people.
What's up, Sherry? And welcome to Live.
And this is just the beginning. There's so much more we can do together and that we'll do together. So thank you for your participation today, for being part of another historic U.S.-African Leaders Summit. We've got a lot of ground to cover in the coming days, and I'm eager to listen to the priorities you have for the future of the partnership between our nations. So thank you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Tommy. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, well, that was Old Man Walter. Just a moment. Tosif? No, these are not my pets. No. These are just our friends, the owls, that we pull up for coffee with hooligans every once in a while. Earlier, hold on, I gotta get this nonsense off the screen. So, what is up, hooligans? This is our coffee with hooligans. Normally we do this at 1 o'clock. But the White House had some sort of live starting that we weren't going to cover because it just didn't seem important. It seemed like it was going to be some long, drawn-out word salad. And so we weren't going to cover that, but we were going to cover Old Man Walter at 1:30. And then I was getting everything set up, and then they moved Old Man Walter up to like 1:15 or something. And so I was like, well, we'll wait for that. And then they pushed it back, and then he was late, and then all this crap. And then I was like, okay, well, we'll just do the coffee with hooligans. So I set everything up. We went to go live, and then all of a sudden, Old Man Walter steps on stage. So here we are. That was not how I planned for this to go, but it is what it is. I appreciate you hooligans being here with me. Heck yeah, I'm going to read through the chats really quick, and we can move forward. We don't have too much going on today. Of course, I want to spend some time. I want to do coffee with hooligans every day for around an hour, every day but Sunday. I think what also I'm going to do is put all the coffee with hooligan stuff on the podcast channel. Well, it's on Spotify, but it's distributed in other places. The link on the Linktree, on the Linktree list, takes you specifically, I think, to Spotify. So I'm going to put all of these up there kind of like a podcast. I'm also going to put the videos on the King Hooligan channel, because the King Hooligan channel is going to be based more on like self-improvement, health, fitness, making money, keeping your brain healthy, stuff like that. And I think Coffee with Hooligans kind of says the same thing. So got some pieces moving around and whatnot. Look at that owl whispering sweet nothings in the other one's ear, telling him a lullaby while he takes a nap. Earlier when I was pulling this stuff up, In the mini cam right here, which I'm assuming is the outside of the box we're looking in, there was like a gecko or something and crawled up on the camera. I'm like, damn, look at all that wildlife out there. It's something else. All right. So it looks like that's it out of the White House. The other thing they were showing is the White House Electrification Summit with a huge paragraph, but when I clicked on it, it didn't seem like there was much going on. So that's that out of the White House. Oh, I keep forgetting. I forgot so much. I didn't even put it in the title. Yesterday, there was a drag show in San Antonio, Texas, and it was an all ages drag show, and it was covered by a live streamer that doesn't want me to cover his stuff. Made a big deal about it and whatnot a few months ago. He was the only person there live streaming. There was like maybe 1,000 people there. There was the drag show people. Antifa was there. There was self-proclaimed patriots there that were open carrying. I guess Patriot Front made an appearance. All the feds or whatever, the white supremacist feds, whatever they are, they were there. There was like 1,000 people there, but the only person live streaming was the guy that didn't want me to show his stuff. And I know there was hooligans that wanted me to go outside of YouTube and show it, but I just felt that that was like really low integrity. The guy doesn't want me to show it. For me to already have that conversation with him and then go elsewhere and show it is kind of deceitful, and that's not really the kind of path I walk. So we didn't end up showing it, but it happened, and we didn't get to cover it because of that nonsense. There was only one person to show it. So my solution to this, you guys gotta learn to live stream. It's not a big deal. If you have a Facebook or a Twitch or something, you do not have to meet any requirements. You can pull your phone out and bam, capture it live, and we could have put it up for everyone to see. It lasted like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, Snooks, he is a lefty. The guy that showed it, he's a lefty. He's all good with, Antifa and BLM. You could see it in the live. There was people shouting BLM, all the normal chants we used to hear during the protest, big call to action. And the camera guy went up there face to face with the BLMer that had the bullhorn. You're not getting that close to the person speaking if you're not in there, like they are. So it is what it is, but I want to let you guys know that did happen last night. I can't remember exactly what time. Look, the gecko's back. It's showing us the goods for free. So yes, that happened yesterday, but what I thought was interesting is, why is this happening? Why is it that there was a drag show last weekend, wherever it happened, I can't even remember now, somewhere, California, wherever Oreo lives, somewhere in California, can't remember, you guys will remember. Either way, why is this happening? So we have a drag show in California last week, all ages, pissed off people, they're like rubbing it in everybody's faces, and as soon as people get there, Antifa's protecting the situation. Now here we are in Texas, drag show involving kids, pissed off people, Antifa's already on the scene to protect the whatever, the stuff going on. Fresno, yeah, thank you, Red, in Fresno, California. So it's almost like they're using these drag shows as a call to action for Antifa. These are like the new protests that are going on. On top of that, they always involve kids, but when the pissed off people show up, the lefties hosting this try to act like the pissed off people are mad at gay people, which is not exactly the case from what I'm seeing in these videos and the lives we're covering. I'm just seeing people mad about what looks like others trying to hurt kids, because that's not okay. It's not okay to hurt kids. I shouldn't have to say that. It's stupid. I shouldn't have to say that. But that's what people are mad about. Now, of course, the lefties are out here saying, oh, well, you're just against the letter gang. And That's not what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing hate towards flamboyant people. Don't hurt kids. It's real clear. And so now it's like, okay, so we have back-to-back drag shows. This is becoming more common. Antifa is always on the scene, and it turns into a big anti-letter gang propaganda machine for the media. Oh, look at these right-wing extremists out here who hate flamboyant people. And I'm waiting for that to hit the White House. Like, it seems like we're starting to move into some activity here. It's like gaslighting to create a reason for protesting. And now we're back to back with it. So I'm waiting for the third one to happen before I make any kind of other hypothesis about the situation. But it seems like this is all coming together for some activity, for some mad people, some screaming and crying in the streets, some super hurt feelings on the live. And hydrodynamic, that's exactly where I was moving. It's like they're trying to normalize involving children in adult things that they should not be involved in, and they're normalizing it. And the more this becomes a regular thing, the more they can keep pushing that line to be more like it is in Greece, where it's a preference, it's a whatever, a disability. They have so many phrases for it, but they're like, oh, if that's what you prefer, then that's okay. You just have to be under this label. Well, it's not okay to hurt kids, ever, at all, period. And so it's like they're trying to normalize this situation, and they're gaslighting the people involved, or the people who are standing against this, just like how the Pentagon does. Oh, look at all this white rage. Look at all this extremism. It's not good. It's not good, and it's becoming real common real quick. So keep your eyes open for that stuff. Hopefully we can, I mean, if Antifa's reactivating, which I've been kind of seeing this coming, seeing live streamers who haven't been live in 2-3 years all of a sudden going live for no reason, testing their equipment and stuff, and now this is happening. And so it seems like things are being more active, but what I'm not seeing is live streamers covering it. There's no one covering it. I'm serious. There was 1,000 people there yesterday, and no one but the one guy that doesn't want me to cover his stuff was there. So I couldn't show everybody. And it's messed up. It's messed up. Everybody gets mad that the lefties get away with every little thing they do, but they do it. That's kind of the problem, is the lefties might be little flimsy guys out here causing issues, but they do it. Everybody else is just watching it happen. Like, oh my God, someone save them. Not me, not you, but, you know, someone needs to come save these people. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Burns me up. Burns me up. Girl, I believe it has to do with population control. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They don't, well, just like it's been going on since probably forever, but I've heard about it most happening like in the 80s, when they really started cracking into breaking down family at home. You know, at one point in time, it was a big deal if the whole family didn't get together at the dinner table, right? Keep your elbows off the table, keep the conversation positive, etiquette, and blah, 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 blah. Spend time with each other. It's not like that now. No, Dad needs to try wear a dress. He's gonna be, you know, scrutinized and hardcore treated and all this stuff until he snaps and goes to jail or dies or whatever, because, you know, they try to push it that men are disposable now. So Dad has very slim chance of sticking around because of the way life is right now. Moms are influenced to be an independent bad bitch. Go and sell your feet pics on the internet. Go ahead and start yourself OnlyFriends, you know, and do that stuff. Don't worry about taking care of your kids. Government will take care of your kids. Don't worry about getting a job. Get on welfare. You don't need a man. You can have 100 of them. Doesn't matter. And then the kids, poor kids, they don't have no parents. So they got to watch TV, watch YouTube, watch TikTok, go to school, and be influenced by all these outside sources that the parents are like totally oblivious to. And so they have TikTok telling them, hey, why don't you try and eat a Tide Pod, see how that goes. Maybe you'll get 1 million views. You have YouTube doing things I can't even say YouTube is doing. pushing lefty flamboyancy craziness. And that's supposed to be okay. The whole YouTube for Kids thing is cluttered with predators and people making content that is supposedly for kids that's not actually for kids, using audio overdubs and different kind of deceitful tactics and stuff like that. And next thing you know, your kid's coming home from school talking about how, because their skin tone's light, that they were born a racist and stuff like that, thinking weird, crazy stuff. Well, in 20 years, you know what's going to happen? We're not going to have people making people anymore. We're going to have ghouls. We're going to have characters, people LARPing, basically, living their life LARPing as a character, confused on how people are people and how people function together and how society, like, it's going to make everything fall apart. It's going to make everything fall apart. It's real obvious. It's real obvious. You don't have women acting like women. You don't have men acting like men. You don't have kids acting like kids. Like, nothing makes sense. And that's why I try to tell people we need to stop playing this blue team, red team stuff. Because, you find somebody like DeSantis and you're like, wow, he's, seems like a great guy. Seems to have the same views as me, blah, blah, blah. You think all these things and you're kind of idolizing them. And you hang on every word they say and this, that, and the other. But they don't live like you do. They don't work like you do. They're not held to the same laws you are. If a news article came out today saying DeSantis did something really bad, blah, 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 you think he's going to jail? No, he's not. You think he will, just like you worry about Trump and stuff like that. Oh, well, in my eyes, this is the good guy. Of course the bad guy is going to put him in jail. What do you mean? He's just as powerful as the bad guys that we're comparing him to. Blue team, red team is the same team. It's just different side of the spectrum. These people are all above the law. They're above all of us. So we need to look at each other, see what each other's doing, see what each other's going through, learn to love each other and not hate each other, not learn to look for reasons to divide us. Oh, if you're not on my team, you must be against me. That's not the way it is. It's not you're either with me or against me. There's plenty of options. That's what's great about America, is you can make your own decisions. You can think for yourself. Don't fall for that trap. Don't fall for that trap. Don't say my guy's the best guy versus the bad guy, because those guys work together behind closed doors. I learned that kind of stuff when I was young and I was getting in trouble, and I'd be sitting in the hallway at the courthouse waiting to go in for my pretrial. I'd have my attorney next to me and he'd be telling me what to say and how he thinks this is going to go. And then he'd go in and talk to the prosecutor that he plays golf with on the weekends, who's trying to put me in jail, talking to the guy that's trying to keep me out of jail. They're buddies. And that's when I realized we're on the outside. Anybody involved in the system and stuff, they're all buddies and they're all against us. And we just pick one and like them better than the others and hang on every word and all this stuff. And we're running our lives into the ground. It's so stupid. We need to be a community. We need to stick together. We need to watch each other. See what's good for one of us is good for all of us. What's bad for one of us is bad for all of us. Just like when they banned Trump and off Twitter, social media in general, and everybody's like, oh, that's great. All the lefties and stuff, oh, that's great. Then they start getting banned. Oh, that's terrible. What do you mean? We let it happen to one of us. You can't be all mad when it happens to you. We let it happen to one of us, and we're all in the same boat. Like, that's what's, I don't know. I think about this stuff all day. It drives me crazy, and I see it on the internet. Why not talk about it during Coffee with Hooligans? It's crazy stuff. We cannot believe those people on the screen. We watch them, pay attention to what they're going to do because they control things around here, but we cannot believe them. We got to hold them at arm's distance. And I'm not saying anything bad about DeSantis or any of those people, so don't get all bent out of shape. I'm just saying they're above us. They live in beyond rules. All of them do. That's kind of the perk, because you would see all this stuff and you'd say, well, why would you want to be a politician? It seems like a shit show, because you'll never see them go to jail. See, the thing is on this side, you could do great things. You could have a degree. You could have money. You could be super smart. You could not even harm a fly. You could be outwardly and openly a good person. When people see you in town, they point at you and they say, I know that guy and he's a good person. But guess what? You could catch a stray bullet and die. You could get in a car accident and die. You could die in a plane crash and die and not be here anymore. And just because you were a good person, it didn't matter. You could also get pulled over because the cop's having a bad day and he thinks you're speeding. You don't think you were speeding. You're used to dealing with honest people and you're used to being forward with your thoughts. Cop declares you resisting arrest and says you're aggressive. He could kill you. He could arrest you. He could put you in jail. Now you're in jail. Now you can't pay your bills. Now you lose your house. You can't make your car payment because you're in jail. Now you lose your car. Like, it doesn't even matter, like, being a good person. It's in your heart. You got to choose to be a good person because you could be the best person and still die or go to jail. And we're all outrunning that. You're outrunning death in jail. On this side of the fence. On the other side, it's not like that. It's not like that. You don't ever see these politicians go to jail and you hear about them committing, like, atrocities, terrible crimes. And they talk about it. Look at, what's her name? Glosselin or whatever, Maxwell. Took her to court, committed one of the worst crimes we've ever heard on TV. What happened to her? Don't know. They didn't want to air it on TV. It wasn't to be shown to the public. They're not going to show anyone the list. They act like it didn't even happen. Like, I don't know, hooligans. We are all we got, and we are all in this together. And that's all I know. We need to stop idolizing the people on the screen. Mike, she's at the spa. Probably. Let's see. What else do we got? I didn't mean for things to get so serious. Speaking my thoughts. My brain's like one big dark room. This is the other thing I keep saying. Now, I'm not going to read this whole article and stuff because I'm not cool like Salty is. But a lot of stuff revolving around the student loan forgiveness stuff. Apparently, people have actually been receiving forgiveness, or whatever you want to call it, free money for their student loans. This article specifically is about people who thought they were going to get it. They got some sort of notification or email or something like that saying that they were going to get forgiveness, and now it's being reversed or it's giving them error messages and all this stuff. Now, I have student loans. I owe like $41,000 in student loan debt. Now, I've been paying it off since 2016 and stuff, and I'll have to start paying it off on the 1st. $200 every month is what I got to pay on my student loans, and it is what it is. I wasn't sitting here holding my breath for student loan forgiveness. I signed up for that debt. I went to school. I did a good job while I was at school, and that's my debt. I signed up for it. Now, if they were going to take it away, I was going to, arm wrestle them for it. But I also wasn't signing up for it at all. So it was either going to come or it wasn't. And either way, I know what I signed up for, and that's that. Now, other people did not feel the same way at all. Some people were really, really hoping that this was going to happen, even though most people knew it was unconstitutional. Like, it was totally unconstitutional. Like you're saying, Patrick, I paid my student loans off. Now I want my money back. Yeah, that's how most people feel. People who were able to pay off their student loans, or they, got far enough along to where they've almost paid it off. Now all of a sudden, the government's giving away free money to students. That's not fair. And it's not the government's money to give away in that way, which is what I think makes it unconstitutional. I know that it's been deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. I didn't read exactly why, but I imagine it has something to do with that. So there's people who have already received money and they're scared to use it. There's people who have notices saying it's on the way. There's other people who are saying they're receiving error notices and things like that. Now, that's all grand, right? But what I think the real problem is that the government is taking advantage of dumb Americans. And that might be hard to hear. And we see this every day. We see the way the government talks to us and stuff with the White House press briefings and all that stuff, which Karine apparently isn't coming to work today. There's no press briefing. But they're always saying, well, the American people want this. Well, you're telling the American people what the American people want, which doesn't really sound valid. It doesn't sound true. So with it being that way, we laugh and we're like, oh, you think we're stupid and stuff. Look at this. Okay, so all these people signed up and made plans for the future. So, I'm getting $20K knocked off my student loans because old man Walter said so the other day, or whatever. The government is not supposed to be tricking you. They're supposed to be taking care of you and governing for you, right? Like catching the plague. I think anybody and everybody that has caught the plague and has a valid, doctor note or whatever, should be able to sue the government, because they're supposed to be protecting us from stuff like that. That's the whole point why they got military, and they take all of our money, and they work on technology and all this stuff. They're supposed to prevent stuff like that. And when things like this happen, we have a big plague, they shouldn't be saying stuff on TV like old man Walter just said a few minutes ago. There will be another one. I'm certain of it. Well, how? There shouldn't be. You should be protecting us from this, not banking on the next one to come by like it's some sort of stock market yearly roundup, like, hey, I'm going to make an investment because I know it's coming back next year. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to protect us from this stuff, and they're not doing that. And then on top of it, they're walking around saying over and over and over, we're going to pay for your student loan debt. We're going to pay for it. So everybody banked on it. Well, all the people who trust the government, day after you went and chose blue team, they went and dropped this stuff on you. Oh, no, it's unconstitutional. We're not going to pay your student loans. And they're all sitting here feeling like they're fooled. Like, yeah. Like, we shouldn't have to teach people that you can't trust the government, but that's kind of our job at this point. This is what the government is doing. If you're foolish enough to trust the government, you're going to fall for their lies like this. If enough people realize they can't trust the government, it'd be 1776 around here. So, I don't know. But I keep seeing this, and I just thought maybe we should talk about it for a little bit. Read through the chat really quick since I'm sitting here flapping my lips. Look at the one chicken nugget sitting on the ground. Not sure. These guys are the weirdest things we have on the screen when it's not a protest. Yeah, cool guy. I don't know. I just don't feel like the government should be able to do that. Like, if it's not cleared and it's not legal, you shouldn't be advertising it. Like, you shouldn't be out here saying, oh, we're going to pay off your student loans and stuff. And then when it's time to pay up, oh, you know what? They said it wasn't all right. But thanks for signing up. Nah. Red, there was a meteor shower? I was unaware. What's up here, Juicer? Scott, if I have to pay, I sure as hell will collect. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to having to pay these student loans starting on the 1st again. But it's my debt. I signed up for it. It is what it is. Christy, the screwed people with the student loan crap. Yeah, and the division is difficult because a lot of hooligans know that I have student loan debt. So half the people in the chat are saying, you shouldn't sign up for it. That's not free money. You're just as bad as the lefties if you sign up for it. And then the other half of the chat's like, they're not going to actually give you the money because it's unconstitutional. There's no way they're going to go through with this. And if they do, it's illegal and blah, blah, blah. And everybody was stating valid points from their own perspective and stuff like that. But not everybody was in that position. There's a lot of people who hear it. And like Paul says, it's free. Take it. And that was their intentions. Is that, they're going to give us free stuff. And so, yay, folding your money before you can count it kind of situation. And I don't know. I just don't think that stuff's right. And if they were going to clear it, I I was qualified to get 20K. They were literally going to cut my student loans in half, from 41,000 to be, 21,000. And that would absolutely help me. But I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. Not any more than anybody else does. So I'm totally okay with paying it, but not everybody's in the same boat. And a lot of those articles, like the one I was just showing, is people who are really hurting because they banked on it. Now, a lot of us who are informed, we can say, oh, that was really foolish to assume that the government was going to pay your student loans. You shouldn't have blew your savings. You should have saved up to pay it off in case this happened. But see, not everybody's as informed as we are. So there's people out there who really thought that forgiveness was coming and had some savings because they knew the payments were going to start in January, and they ended up blowing their savings because they were like, oh, the government will pay for it. No, government lied to you. It's not right, but it is what it is. Mary, if the government stopped lying, the screen would be blank. I mean, that's true. That is true. I mean, I think we would find something else to talk about, but it is true. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for the government lying. That is true. Reading through the chat really quick. Matthew, nothing is ever free. No, nothing is free. Nothing is free. I don't even like having free stuff. Like, you remember being a kid? You'd have something, and then all of a sudden it would get taken from you and get upset. And they would say, well, I'm the one that bought this. Like, you didn't even buy this. Or I don't know if everybody felt that way, but I went through that kind of stuff. My mom would be like, I bought this. I'll take this away and just destroy it right in front of you. That's the way it is. You didn't earn this. And I used to hate that because she was right. I didn't buy it. It wasn't mine. I didn't earn it. And so she had every right to take it from me if she felt that way. And they used to burn me up. Like I pay the bills around here and I'll do what I want. That kind of stuff going on. And I couldn't wait to grow up so I could say that stuff. Like, I pay the bills around here. If I want to set down a glass of milk and come back to good cheese, that's my business. And, that's a nice thing about being an adult or whatever. But owning it, that's yours. You fight on that hill until you're ready to kick the bucket. That's your hill. You're the king of that mountain. You do not have that kind of authority when the government's paying your bills, when the government's putting food in your stomach, when the government's putting a car in your parking spot. Yeah, that seems real great when things are going fly. But that day the government tells you get that jabby jab and you don't get it, you ain't got your bills paid anymore. There's no gas in your car anymore. Guess what? You're going to watch your kids starve because the government's not going to send you any money to feed them government cheese because you won't do what they say. And that's what socialism is, and that's why free money is bad. That free money is not free. That is not free money. That is somebody else's money. And you're forfeiting your control over your own life when you accept that free money. Now, I understand people need help. I have student loan debt because I needed help. I needed financial aid. I couldn't afford it. I was the only person in my family to ever go to college and stuff like that. I was the only person in my family to graduate high school, let alone go to college. So I needed some help, and I understand that, but there's a lot of people who don't need the help, who are out here getting the help when they could be working or serving the community in one way or another. It's not good stuff. So, and that's how I felt about the student loan stuff. It'd be great to be like, yeah, I paid off my student loans, or I don't have student loan debt anymore. And they're like, wow, you paid it off? No, the government did. I just let the government take care of my responsibilities. Nah, that's not me. That's not how I'm going out. Not me. I'd rather suffer for a little bit and get it on my own and sit here and snap my fingers and be like, I pay the bills around here and act like that instead of being like, well, I took a handout and I'm doing okay right now. Nah. Passion. Taxpayers paid. Exactly. That free money came from the taxpayers. Yep. Seeing that? I bet you guys have done this. You're driving down the road. You're like, I pay for these roads too. Like you got authority over it. Something about owning your shit. Yeah, don't take those handouts. That's absolutely right. I'm trying to see what else there is. I had this other live cam pulled up before the owls were up, and there was a whole like gaggle of eagles all next to each other, hanging out next to this lake. And I was checking really quick, see if this camera was gonna go back there, but I guess not. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll see this gaggle of eagles. What is a group of eagles? Is it a gaggle? It's probably something cool sounding. A fierce or something. Does anybody know, or are you gonna make me Google it? IB4, sometimes you're the owl, sometimes you're the mouse. Absolutely. Is it a flock, Sam? I know it's a flock of seagulls, but I mean, these are eagles. I was hoping there would be something cooler. Is it a flock? That's disappointing. We're gonna have to change that. A gaggle of crows is called a murder. I'm trying to think. Somebody said that to me the other day. Absolutely, Paul. Let's see. What's up, K-Love? I know I was kind of going off on a tangent. I don't know if I'm a little tired or what. Didn't mean to bring you guys down today. That's not my intentions. I did not have a plan. I have not been planning for these Coffee with Hooligans. I literally sit here and I go, can't wait to see what's going to happen. And then we go live and we just work it out. I hope you guys are at least enjoying the show. I've actually been trying for like 3 years to do some podcast stuff, and I can't do it because fear and insecurity. So we just show up and wing it. It's going well so far, I think. What do you guys think? Because I definitely wouldn't be able to do it without all of you. You hooligans are amazing. So I'm just reading through the chat really quick. With this being the only live of the day that's foreseen at this time, we will be doing the pledge here at the end. Just reading through the chat. We'll go through the pledge, and then we'll be wrapping this up. Who threw? That sounds like a plan. I seen other people showing that live yesterday, but they were all little channels, and I was waiting to see if they were still going to be here today, because that live streamer wants to strike everyone and stuff, and whatever. We'll work it out. We'll work something out. What's up, Salty Ragu? Oh, also, if you guys are on Gilded, which everybody should be on Gilded, if you're not, click the Linktree link and join Gilded. It is free. You can access it from a computer or the free app you can download on your phone, iOS or Android. But if you are a part of Gilded and you would like to become a helper hooligan, there's a tab that explains what a helper hooligan is. And if you would like to participate in that, definitely let me know. And I will make sure that you get the colored badge you're supposed to get. I've had a couple hooligans offer their help lately, and I thought that was really cool. And so I thought I would put that out there, let you guys know. If you're not a part of Gilded, join Gilded. If you are a part of Gilded and you would like to help and be a helper hooligan, definitely check out the tab, see if that's something you're willing to do on a regular basis. Everything listed there, and if so, hit me up and we'll get your name changed. Donna Sparks, I've been trying to reach you. I am sitting in the chair that we fought so hard to get, and it's amazing. And I appreciate you so much for going through all that trouble to make sure that I have it. You're so awesome. Thank you so much for everything. Hey, thank you, Annette. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right, hooligans. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up. First, we're going to do the pledge. First, we're going to drop some links in the chat. I really want you guys to be a part of Gilded. I'm trying to be more active on there. And the only reason we haven't started doing the call-in show is I'm not convinced that there's going to be enough people to call in. And I'm going to be sitting here talking about myself like I am right now. You guys have to be a part of Gilded in order to call me through Gilded so we can do the call-in show. If I think Gilded is active enough, we will start doing the show. But until then, I'm just going to keep encouraging everybody to join up until we hit that point. So definitely join Gilded. Thank you so much, Snooks, for dropping the link. If you could drop it in all the chats so the hooligans can see. Let's see. Snooks, yeah, you could be the first caller. You might be. Let me drop the chat over on Facebook. All right, so the link just provided is the Linktree link. You can access everything. You can get a shirt just like the one I'm wearing. You can find the patches and flags and flip-flops and other stuff I sell on the other store. You can send support if you would like. You can join any of the membership programs, because there's membership program on Discord, Gilded, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Odyssey. I want to say there's something else. I think in Buy Me a Coffee is also like kind of a subscription. So if you guys would like to access any of that, all of that can be found on the Linktree link. And also I wanted to raise awareness that on Gilded there is a tab for t-shirt suggestions. If you guys have ideas or images as a suggestion, definitely drop it in the chat in Gilded on that specific tab for t-shirt ideas. Because I can come up with designs and words and phrases and stuff for t-shirts, but it works a lot better if you guys tell me what you want or what you would like to see. And I think we would have a better flow. So if you guys have any inspiration for new t-shirts and stuff, definitely join Gilded. Go to that chat thread and drop your ideas so we can make it a reality. Newton, I'm saying, see, and I think that brings up a good point. If we do the call-in show, we will have to show it on Rumble and Odyssey. So it's a very good idea to make an account on Rumble and Odyssey, even if you prefer watching on YouTube, because if we do the call-in show, when we do the call-in show, I don't know what you guys are going to say. So I got to show it on the free speech platforms. So right there, good reason to be a part of Gilded, good reason to be a part of free speech platforms. And also, I thought about this yesterday and just remembered right now. For all the hooligans that are just so attached to YouTube and you just can't seem to let it go, know that the new community guidelines, oh, thank you, Edward. The new community guidelines on YouTube that I think go into effect on the 1st, you cannot swear and you cannot show gang violence. So that means protests or anything like that will not be allowed on YouTube. So what I see a lot together is people on YouTube waiting for protests. Well, now that's not going to happen anymore. So if we have another summer of love, all the people who love YouTube, you will be in the dark. I am telling you, I've been saying for a long time, you need to go to Odyssey and Rumble. They are free. They are totally free speech platforms. Odyssey will pay you just to watch videos and stuff. You'll earn it in crypto and whatever. It is what it is. But if you think you're going to sit on YouTube and just hope for the good days where the dumpster fires and protests coming back, you're not going to see that. Not on YouTube, you're not. So the people who are holding out, I don't know what you're holding out for. I don't know if you really love the press briefings or what, but that's about all you're going to be able to see on here. Now, we've been trying to push it because we just seen the drag show protest thing the other day. And when I catch that first strike for gang violence and swearing, we will no longer show protests. And all we will show on YouTube will be the White House stuff. And that really is not that great. That's not that entertaining. So I'm saying, just get ahead of the curve. Hop on Odyssey and Rumble, make yourself an account. Even if you don't plan on watching everything every single day on that account, when things get spicy, when things get real fun, you'll be able to just pull up app or hop on the website and be a part of the fun. You won't have to stop and make an account last minute, which is always a pain. So that's that. Edward just reminded me, I've put a Cash App link on the Linktree. I think it's also in the description. It may not. I might have to update the description, but it is on the Linktree. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, if you do not have Cash App and you use my link to join Cash App, because PayPal's going communist, if you screw up on PayPal, they're going to charge you a $2,500 fee that you're going to owe. And if the money's in your account, they're just going to take it out of your account. PayPal is going to shit. So if you would like to join Cash App and all that stuff, if you use my link, you'll get $5 and I'll get $5. And it's not a big deal. I've had Cash App quite a while. I don't know if they still do this, but they used to let you do custom cards where you could actually like draw on the front of the card or whatever. So my card has my own handwriting. It says Jeff Mack in gold letters across it. And people always ask me about it when I'm paying for stuff. They're like, oh, what is that? That's my Cash App. And then they think I run an OnlyFriends, which is really interesting. But anyways, if you would like to join Cash App, you can click that link. It'll give you $5. It'll give me $5. And Edward was the one that came up with that idea, which is a really great idea. So if you guys would like to check it out, it's at the very bottom of the Linktree link. I am done rambling now and trying to sell you guys stuff. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Betrayed by corrupt scumbags. Yeah, the owl's fine. It's just taking a nappy. It's been hanging out. All right, hooligans, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, hooligans. Well, that's that. Let's see how long we've been running today. Well, it says about an hour. Sorry it wasn't longer, hooligans, but that's pretty much all I have for now. At least as of right now. If I hear anything else, we might go live later on. Or we'll just use it for content tomorrow. Either way, hopefully I see you guys in Gilded. I will be popping in randomly today. I'm going to be cutting some shorts since it's a short day. It's only 3 o'clock here in the Eastern time. I'm going to cut some shorts, raise some awareness. If you guys see shorts, little clips and stuff from the lives that we cover, please share that stuff out. It's a really easy way for you guys to bring new viewers this way so they can see what's actually happening and stop listening to the government telling them that they're going to pay their student loans and stuff like that. Like, you can't trust the news. We know that. So go ahead and grab a short wherever you see it. I post them on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You see a short, even if it's from a live you've already seen, if you think it's funny or you think it's interesting or maybe it'll open someone's eyes, definitely grab the link, share it to others you know to keep them informed and bring people this way so we can keep growing the community, because we are all in this together, whether we know it or not. So might as well bring people here so we can raise some awareness. Mary Roberts, PayPal is doing that, Zelle does that, blah blah blah. Well, yeah, PayPal and Venmo are owned by the same people. PayPal is now charging those fees on misinformation. If they believe that you're providing misinformation, they're going to charge you a $2,500 fee. Now, other banks and stuff may charge you fees for screwing things up, stuff like that. That's very normal. To charge you a fee for a word that has no exact definition is not right. That's like me saying every time I see you doing booga booga, I'm going to penalize you $10,000, and then when you don't pay it, I'm going to hit you with a lawsuit, or I'm going to send collection agencies after you, and we're going to do stuff like that. And every time I see you do that, I'm going to tack on another $10K and you're going to owe me. And you're like, but what is booga 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 booga? Well, I don't know. And neither do you, but I better not catch you doing it or you're going to owe me $10K plus fees. That's wrong. That's not right. And that's what PayPal's doing. And so, yeah, we're standing against that. Now, I'm not saying that Cash App is any better, but right now they don't have that in their policy. So, for those that are scared of PayPal, right? Because a lot of people did. A lot of people were like, well, damn, I run my business through PayPal and stuff. What am I supposed to do? I don't want to be hit with these fees because they made up a fancy word and they're going to hit me with it. Well, you can come to Cash App. They're not going to do that, at least not right now. And you can still do business online. You'll still have a MasterCard, or it's a Visa card at least. And, moving forward, jumping through the hoops. Doing the best I can, hooligans. I don't know what else to say. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, join the membership program, or purchase any merch. I appreciate all of you, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you guys so much for all the support. I'll see you guys on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.